Look at me styling on you guys with a tripod. Now I might actually be able to record myself doing something. Yes, welcome back to Lovejoy Shipbox Sanctuary, otherwise known as ADHD Customs, the YouTube channel where I can't stay on topic for anything. So, here we are, back with the diesel. So last time when we left, I mean, it needs an interior, a full interior, obviously, and doors, and a windshield, probably battery, and battery cables, probably, you know, little things. The biggest thing is every time I park this thing, all of the fuel leaks back into the leaks back out of the system. There's air getting into the system, just letting the fuel leak back. So, I don't know if I showed it in the other video, but these injector return lines are just absolutely coated in diesel that is leaking through the old lines. So, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna replace them, because it's not that hard. I mean, it's not rocket surgery, guys. I mean, the part's leaking, you replace it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show y'all how to sort this little thing out. It's a weird system, but it seems to work okay. Now, I've heard rumors that there's a factory service bulletin pertaining to these injectors and their return lines, where the check valve in here goes bad. And so, how does the factory solve that, you ask? Well, Ford says to just cap off the return system and say, fuck it. No more fuel return for you. So we might do that. We're gonna try and just fix it right by putting the new return lines on it. But if that don't work, we'll do it the factory service bulletin way. And if I can find, well, like I said, I've heard rumors of this bulletin. So if I can actually find this bulletin somewhere, then I'll put it in the description. Let's crack on, shall we? So essentially what we're going to do here is, you can see the lines here, they thread onto the top of the injector. Obviously, that's where your fuel comes in, but the actual return lines are these rubber caps underneath this line. And there's 2 O-rings under each of these rubber caps that need replaced. That'll come in your kit. So basically what you do is you undo one side, take all 4 of the injector lines loose, lift it up out of your way, and they just pop off. Pop the injector return system off, and then you're going to take it into your garage and you're going to cut the new kit to fit, because it's not pre-made. Alright, so we're going to pop those lines off. Ignore the fact that it's an entirely different day and that I grabbed the wrong wrench. Could have sworn those were a 9/16 head. Shows you what I know. They're a 5/8 or a 16 millimeter. Just gonna go around, pop off each injector line one at a time, one side at a time too. You don't want to take both sides apart at once. I mean, you could, but why? It's just more work. Come on. Some of these lines have been on here for a while. Don't really want to give up. Or you can get them. There we go. I have had all of them loose. I'm almost too short to work on this thing, and it's got flat tires. That's impressive. I've cracked them all loose to bleed the injectors before, so I know they'll all at least come loose. Just gonna go ahead and take this little mini air cleaner out of the way too while I'm in here. I threw it on there just for something. Keep rain out of the engine. There we go. This'll work. You gotta do what you gotta do. We go get a pair of pliers. Notice none of those lines leaked diesel when I took them loose. That's the problem. So go ahead and take the soft line off after the full power. That was loose, that couldn't work. Loops just pop off. They don't, snap like that. They're very brittle. They always are. Well, that works, I guess. Important newsflash, 30-year-old rubber gets hard. Who knew? I'm gonna need a different tool for that. Bigger pair of pliers. So then you can take all this stuff into your shop. All the bits you just took off. You're gonna lay that out just how you took it off on your pristine workbench. Definitely not a spare washer or dryer. Or, if you've got those laying around, that works too. But lay them out how you took it off makes it way easier to put it all back together because you're putting stuff in the right spot. And then you're going to take your return line kit. This one's standard ignition part number SK38. And it comes with everything. It comes with all the new O-rings, new brass washers that I'm not sure where they go. New thicker line, new clamps, and new plastic pieces that are a little bit different than the old ones, but they'll work. They're supposed to make more room. So you take your plastic pieces and lay them out in the correct spots for where they should go. So you'll have a bag of the corners and you'll have a bag of the straights. Yeah, like that. Now you can measure and be 100% sure you've got it right, or you can just eyeball it like I'm gonna do. Get it close enough. Make sure you've got these caps the right way around. There's a big side and a small side. You want the big side down. So click over the injectors. So I actually got to run to town and grab some stuff I left at the other shop. But when I get back, we'll start putting this together. All right, 40 bucks, a slice of breakfast pizza, and a ton of caffeine, and we're back. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your cutter out of its packaging. And like I said earlier, just eyeball it, get it close. It doesn't have to be exact. I mean, they do sell more of this tubing if you run out. So, cut about there. Like so. Put that side together. And I'm actually going to put them this way. Don't forget your clamps. I just about did. So, 2 clamps on each piece of line. Grab my pliers. It's just that simple. Just put the clamp on it. Like I said, it's not rocket surgery. You're just gonna build yourself a set like that. I'll be back when I'm done with this side. Then we're just going to put it back on. Make sure you change your O-rings before you put the new lines on. I'll grab y'all when I get it done. So, return lines are plumbed. I went ahead and replaced this line and this line while I was at it. Can't hurt. And yep, so it's replaced all the way through. New O-rings and everything. New battery thrown in. I'm gonna go ahead and tow it around and see if I can get it to start. Well, I've got the fuel lines bled. I got the ignition on in the cab. Let's see if she'll start. I had it running. She's been sitting for 20 minutes probably. Take her for a little spin around the farm, shall we? Sorry about the jittery camera. It's the best I can do. I don't really have a good setup for this. First gear, 2-wheel drive. Oh, can't make that turn. Been a while since I drove one of these. Enough. I only slightly hit that lawnmower. Probably gonna hit this barrel too. Died. Runs pretty good. Corfield Road, but they've got cattle out there right now. Gotta wash the wire. Power steering is super happy apparently. Well, I think that's good enough to put some semblance of an interior in it anyway. It's not smoking very bad at idle here, which I vaguely remember from last time I worked on it, but I talked to the mechanic that last worked on this truck before it was parked by Elton when he died, and he told me that I should expect it to burn a lot of oil once it gets warm, so we'll see if it starts smoking bad. So we are in a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado watch, but that has not stopped me from dropping the column with just those two bolts and getting the plug for the ignition switch out of the way. And I'm going to wire in this aftermarket ignition. I've got a pin out of where these all need to go, so, and I'm just adding the wires in the spots that need to go on the switch. And then I'll plug them into the correct spot on the connector, and we will party. So I'll see y'all when we get that done. Okay, so it's wired up, and it works. I need to hot glue the terminals in, but key works. Everything should be in the right pinouts. But like I said, I gotta hot glue those terminals in. But we actually just hit the magical tornado warning. So I'm gonna go take shelter and probably call it for today. So I'll edit this video in the basement. We'll see y'all when we see you. Thanks for watching and have a good night.